I noticed when you got to the end, you were talking about kind of like a strategy for, tackling the daydreaming mindset or something. I was wondering about this idea that maybe, like, is there different types of reverie? Like, focused reverie, problem-solving reverie? Would that be a way that you can kind of like contain the reverie so that it can be focused in a certain direction? I don't know if you've explored that idea, but or is reverie kind of just like by definition more like exploratory, where you're just like kind of like all over the place? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I think it's all of that. I think so. Everyone. It's a hard question. We have a lot of cooks that come through the restaurant, and they eventually, we want everyone to open up their own business or do something. We want everyone to keep on going. And so opening up a business is not for everyone. It's hard. And so to your point of like, okay, the reverie, like, is it contained? Is it just sort of like free flowing? Is it big? It's all of that. But once you identify a goal, I think, then there has to be a more sort of like cerebral, at least in my opinion, cerebral path to how you're going to get there. So I've worked with a lot of people who are like, yeah, chef, I'm going to work on a business. I'm like, great. We would like to help. So, and then like they have a day off, and you know what they do? And I'm not trying to like say anything about anybody or whatever you do. My God. Blech. They end up smoking weed all day on their day off, and nothing happens. Like nothing happens. So, and this is not like my personal opinion about weed. It's just that if you want to accomplish something, however big or however small, you have to build in bite-sized, digestible mini goals in order to get there. And so when I think about this business, any project that we work on requires the work. You have to do the work. Like the cooks get upset because they're like, oh, you make it look so easy. And like Emily and I are like, yeah, because we've only done it like, I don't know, 1,000 fucking times. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it looks easy. Like, it's like, so it's constantly reminding people that you have to still do the work. So it's nice to have these lofty ideas, but if there's not like achievable, digestible goal, like moments and goals along the way, then nothing is going to happen.
I love this. It's a couple questions, and feel free to answer one or none, I don't know. Do you find that you're more process-oriented or results-oriented in this process of building your business, and because it did start like in the home and to see it? And then my other question, which I guess could possibly tie into that, would just be, did you already visualize your success when you were there, or was it just like the bite sizes and like I don't know, hope that made sense.
That totally makes sense. The answer to this is really clear to me. In college, I majored in modern dance, which is super practical. And I was so lucky. So I was so lucky to work with a bunch of really, really talented dance professors, dancers, who trained us. And the first thing they did was they pulled the curtains over the mirrors. Like, I literally went through 4 years of dance at Middlebury College without ever looking in a mirror. And the philosophy is that if you get caught up in what you look like, you're never going to get anything done. You're going to hate everything. Or you're going to be so enthralled. Look at my lines, right? That the work is not going to get done. So I had a very, very good foundation of that. And it was sort of like that base, I think, coupled with our struggle with having children, sort of that experience, really sort of, you're at a point where you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I just can't, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, have gone through so much emotional and physical pain that the work is what saves you. So the work saved me, and then it's like, so everyone's like, are you goal-oriented? Sure. But for me, I love the process. I love the process. I love the minutia of all the things that we do at the restaurant, because it's like a break. And so when the goals actually do happen, I mean, we do have goals, but if you do everything, if you lose sight, if you don't revel in the process, then it doesn't matter. You know, the goals are like great, but then everyone's like, okay, what next? What next? And I'm like, I don't know, I just want to like make the bread again. You know what I mean? Like, because the bread like sometimes comes out awesome and sometimes it's like, not as awesome, but that's okay. You know? Did I make any? Yeah? Okay.
I know you mentioned a bunch of examples already, but did you notice any patterns in the best times and places that you experienced reverie? And I'm gonna sneak in a second question. Oh no, I forgot. Never mind, just the first one, like patterns in your best reverie times and places, and yeah.
In my experience, because no, it just sneaks up on you. Because of the tension that I have with reverie, like it feels indulgent, you know. I think that's something that I think about my mother and how my mother's Korean, so everything is pain and suffering with her. But like, you know, I'm gonna eat last night's rice, you have the fresh rice. You know, like that's like a part of my DNA. So like the idea of like scheduling reverie sessions, it's just like not, it doesn't happen with me. It usually happens when I'm typically alone. And so the challenge is with me is like I have a tendency of having spells of depression, and it's because I realize and you know, it's a constant working on it, but I realize it's because I'm not alone ever, hardly ever. It's like, you know, I'm in constant contact with people, talking to people, problem solving with people. So usually happens when I'm alone. And then I'm realizing now the value of actually making time for reverie. Yeah.
Aloha, good morning. Thank you so much. My question is, if there are people out there who have been just dying to open a food business, whether it's a brick and mortar or a farmer's market or other kind of business, what kind of reverie would be, in your opinion, beneficial for them, and what would you recommend for them to be an outcome?
So I would say you come up with an idea, and now you want to execute your idea. What helped us is that we talked to as many people that would be willing to talk to us. And I think that's part of the, I think that people don't realize that you have to lean on people that actually know what they're doing. Ask a lot of questions. People are so ready to be generous with what their experiences have been. And so that's what we did. And and to dedicate the time. So when Chuck and I were planning FET, we both had full-time jobs. But we literally had to put it on the calendar. Like, okay, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., all we're going to do is mission statement. That's it. and hold each other accountable. And so when you get other people, when you sort of like, you're finding your mentors and you're finding people who have like walked through the path that you think you want to take, it's really important to listen to their stories. And then now you have an ally. I'm really like stuck thinking about this problem. What do you think? So I think that some people think that they have to be like, it's a secret. Oh, I'm working on this thing. It's a secret. I don't want to tell anybody, oh, I'm shame, or like, I don't know if anyone's going to like it. Like, who cares? People inherently want to help. And so you have to sort of dig down and have the strength to ask for the help and to like let yourself be vulnerable. People don't like that. But when you let yourself feel vulnerable, it's amazing, because people have you. They'll catch you, and they'll be generous to you. And I think it's very, very scary to put yourself in that state. So, yeah, very complicated question.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, everyone. So nice to see you.